everyone. I just forgot to hit record, so I'm saying this twice. And look, the magic, I'll just probably cut this bit out. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 5th episode of Kingdom Debrief. We are halfway through. We still hate Mnet. We hate Mnet even more. Like, how much more can we hate Mnet? I know my channel is under Mnet, is under CJE&M, so I'm probably going to be blocked from YouTube, but it doesn't matter because we need the truth to come out. This is like, okay, I'm just crapping on. I'm tired. Bye. Natalia, Krysti, Kirstie, Lucy, Swenson, and our Trish. Our Trish. That's right. Our Trish. Yay! I had a really late.
All right. Yes, we're halfway through the run of Kingdom, and we got the other 3 performances of this Reborn round. So we're just going to dive right in. We've got lots to talk about today. So what were your funniest moments of the week?
For me, it was the hanging up the phone on Stray Kids constantly every time Stray Kids was like, okay, we gave you information. Yeah, now it's your turn. And beat James. I was like, beep.
Everything B2B was doing, I was actually laughing out loud. Ethan's going, what are you laughing at? I'm like, oh, never mind. But it was when he was writing on the board and his Hangul was so shit, he was calling it cursive. Yeah. And it was also a mixture of, it was Konglish. Because half was
the Konglish, the Essalump.
English and Korean. It's the funniest shit.
Yes, like when Minhyuk was like, man, his handwriting's horrible. And then Chang Sub is like, what is that? King Dong? Oh, so funny.
Yeah. Or when they were thinking about why Stray Kids picked them, and Chang Sub was like, did they think we were easy? Was that it?
Oh, yeah. He starts out and goes, Andre! Yeah.
All of his reactions are perfect.
We just love you. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But their reactions too. So Chang Sub hanging up and then just Stray Kids' reactions to B2B. Yeah. Han standing up going,
Peniel's
it's all
that you can't steering down the phone. Also, Jae-yoon made me laugh when Minhyuk ripped his shirt open. He was like, let's tear it open together someday.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I wrote that one down as well.
Theme song is like, take your shirt off. Take your shirt off.
The collective gasp when that happened was gold.
It was well deserved.
Like, same boy, same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like Ian saying, oh my God, his body.
That was when it was just like this. Just so
Oh, it was so funny.
Peniel, when they were looking at when they found out Stray Kids, I'll be your man. Peniel's like, rock version, I'll be your man.
Yes. The metal version.
The metal version.
Can we appreciate the Peniel moments we got in this one? Because earlier we were like, we need more Peniel, and we got lots.
He was hilarious.
Yeah.
This episode made it
the elevator, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And,
he was so upset that when Chung Sub Stray Kids, he got such a reaction. But he says, I don't get that reaction. Like that's bad.
Oh yeah, when his part came on in the performance, and all the Stray Kids were like,
it's just hilarious. And also remember when he snatched whoever's phone is, he snatched phone away. And the Stray Kids were like, oh
that's right.
He grabbed the phone. I was like,
sneaky.
They are such good value. Like I didn't know the group. Like I knew 1 or 2 members before Kingdom started, and now I totally stand. Like I'm going to react to everything they do. Like I adore them.
I knew like 4, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I had a couple of songs, and I had like Huta's Ya on my
I
playlist.
had lots of music, lots and lots of music from the beginning. Literally, like the first top 10, first 10 songs I downloaded were B2B. But yeah, they had Never Stand.
I'm totally a melody now.
Same.
I think most people have come out of this competition being a melody now.
Yes.
Yep.
I love it.
It's official.
We need to talk about Lucy's sign.
Oh yes. That's my funniest moment of the week.
People
right there.
can't see. We're just going to do
Double zoom.
I mean, who doesn't? To be honest, who doesn't?
I'm pretty sure in a group chat that Trish and I are in, everyone was like, "Yes, we do, yes."
You know, that performance, that without going too far forward, I was in the chat. I had to stop every 20 seconds and yell about something in the chat, and I had tears in my eyes. Like it was the best thing I've ever seen. It was so good. It was so well done. Anyway, we'll save that for later. But just, I want to come in. Yeah.
There's this bit where Minhyuk was analyzing the choreo of Backdoor, and then he kind of went into learning the moves, and then it was just a simple knocking thing, and then he said left and right. That's on his feet, and he's like left, right. Wait, let me check that again. Left, right. Wait, let me check that again. And I just found that a bit funny because that's just how we learn dances. And in his case, he's like, wait a sec, let me just check that again. Wait a sec, let me just check that again.
For those that don't know, Swenson is in a K-pop dance crew with my child, so he's a dancer.
Okay.
Experience learning choreography.
Yes. Yes.
And I find that relatable as hell. So I just found it funny.
I think that's why we enjoy their commentary so much, because they're so relatable, and it's just really funny. I we get it.
Yeah. And him getting sucked into watching the backdoor choreo, going, I've been sort of
forcing my husband to watch it with me, and he was like, "Yeah, they're the middle-aged dudes who are like, well, we're here, so." And I'm like, "Yeah, relatable."
Yeah, they're just starting their 30s. I mean,
as if that's
so
middle
funny.
age.
Yeah, it's not middle age.
Well, according to Stan Twitter,
according to a lot of people, because Unkwang was born in the same year I was.
Yeah,
so I was like, I
understand. According to Stan Twitter, that's retirement home.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Can we have a moment of appreciation for grown-up boys doing a very grown-up performance?
Song.
Yes.
With grown-up lyrics, and
it was so good.
So grown.
A KL whispering to the camera what's the rating?
That'll be fine, mate. That'll be fine. It's in English, so they won't notice.
What PG is this?
Oh, so funny. Well, let's just move right into our wow moments of the week. Okay, I'll start. Mine was the whole B2B performance.
Yeah, everything about it was perfection.
Yes, the whole thing
was awesome. And another, outside of just the performance itself being awesome, I loved Stray Kids' reaction to it.
Yeah.
And all the groups' reaction to it. I mean, everybody was hyped.
Yeah.
It was just that was just really cool. I think it was Changbin who said, "It's our song." So it was really cool.
So good. Is it the way they did the rooms obviously the end, but the
it was a very clever concept that what I really liked about it was that they know that they can't really compete with these big flashy dance numbers like the other groups, so they're like, well, we're going to do something that's just as impactful, but we are physically capable of pulling off. So it was incredible. It was so good.
And the way they drew on Mamamoo, and that's exactly what they did.
Yes. I tell you, my wow moment was my bias Jisung vocals in
the
way everyone was
appreciation
reacting,
moment.
He's a rapper.
And of course, if you know Stray Kids, you're not surprised. We've all seen King of Masked Singer performance. We
Yeah.
sing.
Just seeing him,
So-
and the whole performance, I had goosebumps through the entire thing,
Mhm.
and my heart was so happy seeing all the other groups just in awe of his
Mhm.
voice.
Yeah.
I was so proud.
Him and Sun
Proud.
singing together was really
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Amazing.
that
Yeah.
harmony, that high
That-
note was everything.
Mhm.
I have that as a wow moment. Their harmony before, like
Yes.
maybe before, like
And the Changbin's
a little bit
rapping.
before the ending. That harmonization was
Yes.
perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they did it. It was
Mhm.
perfect.
And you can tell it
Yeah.
was good because, Nguyen was like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But his expression,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you did it. You did it.
You got
And,
the
like,
ongoing seal of approval.
yeah.
Yes.
The Stray Kids
definitely.
performance also was so beautifully emotive. Like you
Yeah.
felt the emotion of it.
Yeah.
I'll have more to say about this later.
The whole
Yeah.
Shenanigans
Yeah. It was like
in the
like,
shenanigans section of.
I forgot his name. I think it's Jinhwan from Icon. He said there was like a lingering feeling at the end.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I felt, especially with the kid
Yeah.
that embraced him. I was like, oh,
yes,
my
that-
God.
yeah.
And then I was like, whoa, that's that feeling at the end. I was like, oh, they killed it.
When K-pop
great.
bring children into it,
Yeah.
you're gonna cry.
Yeah.
Right.
And
It's gonna be something.
I also gotta give AT's props for they're like, we're gonna make our own narrative. All of our performances are gonna fit
Yeah.
together in some grand time travel story.
Just like the pirate thing.
Yeah.
Yes, and it
We're
tied
just
back to
like, that's what we're doing.
Because this one is supposed to be a prequel of the last.
Of the
Yes.
last
first
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes place in the future, and then the time traveler goes back in the past.
Mm-hmm. The round one is
Listen,
scratched.
it's-
It's like the
It's working.
They
Yeah.
Well,
turn
and
it
it's like,
around,
and
they
they
turn
went,
around.
and we went from them having a crack in one round to having like a freaking blimp this time.
blimp.
They're just like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess we're gonna have a
Listen,
big drop every
like-
time.
Oh, that was my wow moment too. Was
The airship.
someone's,
Dun, 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 dun.
someone's red hair.
Oh,
AT
yeah.
For me, it
AT
was
yeah.
Hong Joon. Just appreciation for Hong Joon and his
He was
performance
great.
quality.
But AT's prop master is having the time of their life right
Yeah.
now.
Most
They're
definitely.
just like, ooh, what can we make this
What can we
week?
inflate this time?
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that.
Right, they have like a key element. A big key element.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like
Yeah.
for AT's stages, for the upcoming stages as well, that hourglass is going to play a huge role in
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
they
an
do.
inflatable hourglass. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Frankie's called it.
Wait, will that mean
die if
time
they do.
distortion and stuff? If you inflate the hourglass because you're like
Yes.
Oh my God.
extending time and stuff. I mean, people in KQ, they're gonna sort it out anyway.
They're gonna do
We're
some
all
shit.
living in
they'll
a
do it.
simulation.
Brain jars, brains and jars.
You are the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
yeah.
just
And
say
then-
how close we came to getting? I mean, I'm so glad that they did the song they did because it's amazing and they did such a great performance. But how close we got to Stray Kids doing wow! Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
that's
That would have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
have-
had it as one of the consideration. They had like 3 songs, and then WoW was one of them to choose.
Mhm.
Yeah.
from.
Movie.
And
was
movie
it?
as well.
Mhm.
yeah.
Movie would be like a good
Be
song
fun.
to
Mhm.
to read.
Very
Very
as
fun.
well.
Mhm.
I
So
have.
They went
movie was-
serious.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
And,
Go ahead,
Sorry, I was just
Kirstie.
going to say movies sort of, I think movie is
Movie?
more in Stray Kids vibe, so they went with
Yeah.
something totally different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a couple of wow moments. So first of all, Unkwan's his high note.
Oof.
I just
Yes.
wanna
Oh
I
my
just
gosh.
wanna highlight how stable his
Oh,
high
oh,
note
yes.
is.
The way he
The
just
stability
released it,
in his
the way he
vocals
released
is
it at
always
the
so
end, it
very
was just-
beautiful.
It was
Like the
perfect.
level of technique this
Mhm.
man has. I mean, the level
Yeah.
of technique
Mhm.
B2B has is just
Mhm.
beautiful. But just Unkwan, that stability in that note, I was like,
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Can I
beautiful.
just-
replay it,
Wow.
replay it.
Unquoting that whole performance.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
bravo.
we say as well, makeup gets like the sort of like sex appeal of that group generally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like
Those
if
tattoos.
that boy ever comes out with the tattoos and that open black shirt and
Oh my god.
yeah,
Oh my God. I was feeling some kind of way.
that was another one of my wow moments. It's like, because everybody got distracted, understandably, by Min Hyuk's abs, but I went and watched the individual fan cam for Eunkwang, and he had some moves too.
Expressions.
Yeah,
I thought he really nailed it.
Yeah, a lot of people forget that they started off as normal group. Like they had the choreography, and then it was later on that they incorporated like their ballads, which like really put them on the scene. But they have like, of course, like wow, it's one of those that have like choreography and stuff. So it's really cool to see them dancing and like, hey, B2B can dance as well. Like there's the duality.
I went and watched their debut stage yesterday, and it was just it's so interesting to see what they all look like.
Right?
Insane, yeah.
Like it's like the quintessential second gen, like dramatic bottom.
Yep. And the hair, second gen hair.
Yeah.
Like falling to the really ground in the rain, everything like that.
So good.
And also I liked the Latin American beat ATEEZ added a couple of their like, when San was on the he wasn't on the floor, but he's supposed to be climbing up the rope, and then Hyunjun's part as well. I love that Latin American beat. I always appreciate when Latin America is added.
Before I forget about San and his dance break with the Latin American beat on the rope, can I just we all know how much stage presence he's got and stuff, but the amount of different dance styles he took on for that one particular performance.
Yeah, he was b-boying.
He said he was b-boying.
And then the rope, and just he had so many different things to juggle that performance.
Yeah.
It's mental.
That's, I was just mentioning last night that he's one of my new alts. I haven't got it on my shelf, so he just how could he not be? He's amazing.
Yeah,
he's super cool.
And then just say, Sun didn't even start out as a main dancer in the group. So
in fact, didn't he get ridiculed for his dance when he first started?
Yeah,
according to the
That's
other
crazy when you think about it.
He's so athletic because his father owns a Taekwondo studio.
He was athletic.
He's so athletic. Yeah.
I can imagine what it must have been like for him to try and catch up, because that must have been some serious manpower. I mean, it just shows you what you can achieve if you really work hard at it.
Yeah.
Thinking of someone else that was like that was Taemin could barely hold a note according to everybody when he started, which he was really young, so doesn't surprise me. And then now
practice.
Yeah, and now nobody would ever say that.
And then Sun is also just less than 3 years into the industry. So just imagine how much potential he holds.
Yeah, they're so good already.
I just remember distinctly when I first kind of shortly after I got into K-pop was and I'd never been to a concert, and I remember seeing something like on Instagram or something about ATEEZ was coming to Atlanta, and so I just sort of went on and tried to get a ticket, and they were sold out in a hot second. And and on gut instinct that they were going to be huge, I bought a ridiculously expensive resale ticket, and I don't regret it at all. It was a great show, and I can only imagine now seeing these performances how much bigger their stage performance is going to be if I ever get to use that concert ticket that I have from last year.
But, I have an ATEEZ concert ticket as well, just sitting in the ether.
I have a FormantX ticket.
I had accommodation booked for Seoul for their first proper concert in Seoul last year. I had accommodation booked, and then I thought, know what? Look, maybe I'll wait until September when they have the big, comeback season, September, October. Anyway, we all know what happened.
Things happen.
Enough said. Yeah.
Enough sadness. All right, so let's just move. This kind of transitions well into just kind of favorite moments. Other than your wow moments, did you have other favorite moments from the week?
Yes. Look, my favorite moment was Wooyoung and Jinhwan showing their little text back and forth, and they were saying, "I want to be friends with you." And Young and Jinwon saying, "Right, just call me Hyung," and all that sort of stuff. It was the cutest thing. And then I noticed that Young did Jinwon's part in
in Rhythm Chart.
Yeah, in Rhythm Chart. Young actually did Jinwon's part. So I wonder if he actually asked to do that part because
That's
I thought
maybe.
That was the cutest thing.
My favorite moment was
mixed well with that part.
Yeah, my favorite moment was the tease fanboying icon. The fanboying.
Yes. All the mutual fanboying has been awesome.
Yeah, it's always really cute, the mutual fanboying.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed with the sound engineer trying to find the perfect knocking noise.
Yes.
I thought it was really nice that not only they actually said who this guy is. They gave him a name, and and it's very clear that he's been working with them for a while, and they have a rapport. And so I always really like when shows or artists themselves take a moment in these sorts of things to be like, yeah, these are the people who work with us that no one ever hears about, right?
I even like that. I can't stay up all night. I have a family. It's like,
yeah.
Truth.
Get real K-pop. Come on.
That'll be Chen soon. Anyway, when the episode comes back.
Listen, I love being a K-pop auntie. Okay,
me too.
Big fan.
Me too.
Well, a couple of my favorite parts were how Zuho from SF9 immediately got the reference of what ATEEZ's performance was based on, House of Paper. He's like, he was just like, I have never heard of this drama, and he's like, oh, that's House of Paper. So,
oh wow, yeah,
it was cool. And then another part I wrote down was just Felix's part in their. I always love.
I wrote that one down too.
I told this when he turns around and goes, all I hear is your cries. I was just like, oh. So, but it's sort of like I was telling my husband earlier. I was like, that voice coming out of that boy doesn't make any damn sense. I mean, just it's awesome.
No damn sense. None.
And
it's still amazing even after all these years. Yeah.
And that's a favorite part of mine was sometimes, and when he was doing his rap, when he was being dragged along, you can hear his Australian accent in the English part.
And
that's what I also love. Really one of my favorite parts is Han. Jisung he's learning to speak English with an Australian accent.
Yeah.
So many times.
Yeah, they all are.
He's going, B2B forever, B2B forever. And I'm like, man, you've been hanging around on this too long. Just hearing Jisung with his Aussie accent makes me want to just.
I never thought about that, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to happen with N-2 and Jake, but yeah.
Oh, he probably will.
Probably will.
Not as much because Stray Kids have got the two that talk amongst each other. So
the two, both of them.
Yeah. They also, speaking of Stray Kids, when Ian was upset and they had you could hear the audio of Chris comforting him, and he was like, I mucked up too, and I was like, oh, best leader ever. I got so teary.
I
felt so bad for him. I was like,
too.
I'm like, sweetie, you did so good. Don't worry.
To be honest, I thought that break in his vocals actually added to the performance. Desperation of the end of the performance.
The emotion.
I didn't even notice it. So
I didn't even notice
it either.
I noticed it when it happened.
They played it up for a good bit of drama. You know what?
Yeah.
Insert end Netflix.
I guess my favorite moment was actually in ATEEZ's performance where Hongjung came out of the back vault and he started rapping, but at the same time he put on his headphones, he was just rapping without a care in the world as the robbery unfolds behind him, and he was doing vibing and stuff.
When that happened, I was like, ooh, he's channeling some G-Dragon with his stage mannerisms, the way he was sort of doing the slinky moves across. I was like,
I saw someone on Twitter say that he was walking out like Jack Sparrow.
Oh look! Swagger.
Because Jack he got this walk to him, and I was like, wow, okay.
Look, I've been comparing Hongjung's aura with G-Dragon since they debuted. He's just that leader, that swag, that attitude. He's amazing.
Yeah.
He always is great.
That bit added a lot of flavor to that performance, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that performance had a lot of flavor.
this part on the podium, and then you see him on the screens in the back.
Yeah.
I like that part. That was really cool.
The start of 80s performance really gave me like Block B, very good music.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
in the in the van.
Yeah.
What is that called? The list where they show how idol producers their own songs, and then there's 80s in it in the list, and then
There's a lot of
Sriracha
rappers.
dominating the list.
Yeah.
And then also I also see G Idol in there. And it was like So
It
Young
was
from
fourth
G
gen
Idol.
only. The list it was fourth gen only. Yeah.
Yeah, so I felt like it's good that we've been getting a lot of genuine works being poured into like the music, and we've been listening to like more and more self-produced songs and
Thank God.
Yeah,
I mean,
felt like-
not that there's anything wrong with before, but it just adds more variety to the mix in K-pop.
It's so impressive when they were talking through Racha and how like they had 80 songs that have been put out, and then there's bunches more that haven't. And I'm just like, you think about how young those guys are and how many more years ahead of them they've got for this collaboration. It's just like mind-boggling what they're going to be able to accomplish over the course of their lives.
That's talent.
I felt like they're the holy trinity when it comes to songwriting and producing, because I felt like no other groups. Oh, because it's fourth generation only. But do you guys think 17 will fall under fourth generation or the generation before?
I don't think they are.
They could be like
they're
3.5, 3.5 sort of.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Man, I don't really know where the generations divide anymore.
Yeah,
it's all blur at this point.
Yeah, the generation thing was
honestly, because
all...
everybody, some people do like 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Some people do 2, 3, 3.5, 4. I don't know.
And then we'll be getting like a quarter past 4 ish kind of.
Yeah,
I don't even know what generation we are in now, and I think that itself is just like a big question mark.
Still fourth, I'd say.
Yeah. A lot of people say fourth still.
Yeah, we're in a very good time of K-pop. I'd say.
I like it because it's like we've got the fourth gen groups, but then we still have stuff coming out from the earlier gen groups too. So it's like this nice variety. So
Yeah.
Speaking of 2 p.m, come back soon.
Yeah, I saw a picture of them together.
Very
pumped.
Yay!
Yeah.
But
I guess we're a bit carried off topic. Sorry.
all right. So now that we have seen all 6 performances of this round, what was your favorite?
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah.
There we go.
I'm not choosing. I can't.
Like,
Guys,
depends on what.
No.
Which was your favorite?
I can't split up
How many can I
SF9
pick?
and B2B. SF9 and B2B
Yeah,
for me.
that's
I don't know
probably-
whether
That's
it's
me
drama.
too.
Yeah,
Like-
I can't split them.
All of the groups were giving very different vibes that it's so hard to like.
Mm.
But if I'm put up against a wall, B2B was incredible. So
Yeah.
If forced B2B just because of how many times I've already watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Compared to the
I think B2B had me pausing. It took like I was just because of the concept, not because of the shirt. Like SF9, I was
Frankie.
pausing. That was more shirtlessness. Oh no, but B2B, like the first 20 seconds, I was yelling because of the concept.
Yeah.
When I realized what the concept was, I was so excited, just thinking, wow.
I'm
not-
on the couch.
I'm not fast forwarding to the end.
Yeah.
I'm watching Uncharted at the beginning, and and
so good.
the whole thing.
So,
He looked absolutely
I guess
beautiful.
my reaction that B2B might be up there, the top.
Yeah.
Those are my top 2 too. I loved SF9s, and then it's like I keep watching B2Bs too, so they're like right neck and neck for me.
Yeah. My 2 favorites are also SF9 and B2B. I've had to like figure out who SF9, like the individual members I'm trying to highlight because I don't know their names. But I already know one of them, Sue. I think it's
Suho.
Trish. Yeah, I was like, this dude right here, he looks really cool.
Yeah.
I like the
He's not. He's like the most dorky of all of them.
He is
so cool.
And he's
He
the
looks
biggest
so
fraidy
cool.
cat ever.
Oh my god, he looks
He's afraid of his own shadow.
yeah.
It's so funny. SF9 and B2B for me, neck and neck, or ab to ab.
Ab to
well, okay,
That's
okay.
a coincidence. I like their performances. Just the vibes that they captured with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked how SF9, they were very honest with like their shortcomings, and they tried to like figure out, okay, so what do we have to work on? Let's see how we can tackle each of the things we could have done better in the first round. And like let's show it in this round. Like I really like their honesty, and I liked seeing like behind the scenes like how they worked as a group. And I really liked that part where they were like having this lesson with this famous actor. I really like that part. I loved his advice was just spot on. Everything that he told them, I was like, spot on. This is what you need to do. Most definitely. And B2B, they just did great. I loved how they were like, okay, we gotta focus on the storyline. This is what people like. This is how, you know, it could help like convey the music, and we just need a storyline. We need to do this. And I loved the whole backstage and each of the rooms. I just loved it. Like that's why they both I'm like equally number one for favorites, because I feel like they were able to like take the critique and make it better. Apply it and make it better. I just really liked it. Like everybody did awesome. Like I've watched everybody's over and over. But like
I'm like
the ones
still
that stay
laughing.
in my head are still, you know, SF9 and B2B.
I am still laughing at the SF9 critique that it wasn't sexy enough.
Yes, you're never going to let that go.
I'm never going to let it go, because I was like, what should they be shooting a pornography on there? Like, what do you want to make
like
that
the
sexier?
concept, like the concept of I like I said, like I didn't know a lot about them, but to me they were like sexy, classy. Like there's a way you could convey sexiness without having to like show so much as different types of sexiness. So to me it was sexy, classy, still sexy, just classy, you know. But I mean, oh well.
One of the mysterious panel of experts. But anyway,
with their
with mysterious metrics that we know nothing about.
Yes, it's all a mystery.
I mean, at least we now know there's supposedly 29 of them in the panel list instead of just one. I felt like that itself
one random person.
Psych, it's not JYP. It's just JYP.
Oh, JYP with like a revolving door of disguise.
It'd be like a feather boa, a wig.
Oh gosh.
Oh no. Now I'm never getting that image out of my head.
That was terrible.
I'm sorry.
We've killed Swenson. Well,
No,
this is where
the image of it.
This is the part where I was telling you on the chat that I had a surprise. I was kind of curious, like, because we all come to this. We all know these groups to some extent, you know, and we come with certain expectations. So I was like, I'm going to bring my husband in here and have him watch all of these performances and tell me which one he liked the best, because he doesn't listen to K-pop. He is a musician, but he doesn't like pop music from any country pretty much. He's more of a rock guy. And so I was like, okay, watch these and tell me which one you like the most. And so he watched them all, and then there were 3 of them that he was like, let me watch those again. And so it came down to his favorites, B2B. From the moment that we saw Chang Sub with the guitar, he was like, yep, I like this one. And then he also really liked the boys, because it was like all the backup dancers, the girls in the red dresses.
The girls in the red dress.
So those were the 2. He did watch ATEEZ a 3rd time, so I think that's probably his 3rd one. But those were the 2 that he said he liked the most. So I thought that was kind of interesting coming from somebody who was totally fresh to all of it.
So, no. Yes, well, there we have.
He also thought Bobby was funny, so.
Bobby's there to have a good time, isn't he?
Yes, he's like,
just chill.
Yeah, immediately he's like, he looks like he's having fun.
He always is.
And that was my response.
I felt like Bobby just had that carefree character of his, and I felt like that actually in my case I initially had 4 groups tied for like my favorite stage, and it's gonna be really hard when you have 4 groups to choose between. I actually had B2B, Icon, 80s, and The Voice up for my favorite performance of the round. And it might be a bit time biased as well, because we get to see 3 performances a week ahead of the other 3. And I felt like Icon's my favorite stage because the song grew on me. It left a good impression on me initially. And then over the week, I was like, oh, I had that song just popped out every time. Like I had free time to, like, my thoughts were just wandering around, and suddenly my mind was just like, da da da, bangy, and that bit was so
And I feel like ATs really transformed the song the most out of all of the groups, and like made it sounded like it was a completely different song while still having that slightly like, wait, like this is really familiar, but at the same time it wasn't like, if you had just only heard Rhythm Ta once, you wouldn't know that was a remake of that song, like if you weren't familiar with it. So I thought like their arrangement was the most, like, they managed to take, because Icon and ATs have extremely different sounds, and so they managed to take like the bones of Rhythm Ta and then put the flesh of ATs on top of it, and it was incredible. I'm sorry for that. Really, just now that I said that metaphor, it sounds really gross in my head. So I apologize.
You know what's interesting? In my case, I haven't actually heard of Inception beforehand. So Icon's version was the first version that I've listened to, and well, I mean that may have to play a factor into like me deciding on Icon's stage to be my favorite for the round, because I felt like the whole Inception, I mean, well, the song itself is called Inception, and the whole concept and theme in the performance, it was carried out really well. And like those swapping scenes between like reality and like dreamland, I felt like it's also in a way a symbolism of how people are like reborn when you're in your alternate reality, aka dream. And like the whole song, the whole song was just like so easy to vibe on. And then the performance, the performance,
the chorus is great.
Ending, that spinning top at the end, I felt like that's still the deal for me.
Like, all the performances were sick, let's be honest. Like,
especially like the ending of the boys. I really liked that the girls were on top, the dancers, and then the confetti was falling over them, and they were like all in sync. I was like, wow, they're all in sync. Like, I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like,
that was something my husband noted, was that when they first do the first dance in toward the beginning of O Sole Mio, and they're all in sync, and he was like, oh, this dancing's good. And I was like, yes, they're one of the best groups in K-pop at dancing.
They were like nearly all in sync. It was like,
would his beautiful score might have changed if the fire worked.
I felt so bad for some people.
But then I'm
brought so much more if they had that fire throwing around the place.
But also, I was like thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, he was supposed to light that on fire. Then they were supposed to take that to the other room and like pecan twirl with it. I'm like, I'd have died.
Let somebody on fire.
They would have to be like really, really careful because the other one was doing like this, and then they had to pass it, and then go to the other room.
Some of them had like flowy things on their costumes that could have caught on fire. It's like, let's not set the boys on fire.
So maybe it happened for the best. I mean,
they are fine.
This is true.
They are trying to put out like a good performance, but at times it left me thinking, at what cost? Because they're really like putting themselves in danger for doing something that's,
look, Krakens are dangerous. Krakens are dangerous. Like, you gotta,
I mean, true.
Listen, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
Be careful. It was this like you said, Swenson. it was my first time listening to The Stealer by The Boys. So I was like, wow, the song was really cool. I have to listen to obviously their version.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounded really great.
Well, we mentioned scoring, so this transitions well into our frustrations and shenanigans portion of the show.
Dun, 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 dun.
When we had the second time this happened, where they're all sitting there, and then one of the groups ends up with no points from the other groups.
Shenanigans.
I had two thoughts. It's like, one, I'm not sure I actually believe that.
No, I don't, because if I was any of these
Everyone
groups,
was so shocked.
I would vote, at least give one of the rankings to the person who switched a song with me. It's like the friendship vote, you know? Even if, you know.
I can see that, and that actually led to some fan war crap going on Twitter that I'm going to address in a moment, which made me mad. The thing is like, yes, you could do that, or you could step back and say, if we're going to be completely fair about this, we have to give our votes to the groups we think did the best. It's, you don't throw like the previous round, there were people on Twitter who said SF9 got pity votes from the fans, which made me mad too. So it's sort of the same thing here in a way where, do you give away a vote when you may have thought another group was better? So it's sort of, there are two trains of thought here. And I can see some validity to both of them. But I hate how Mnet has structured this to where they give the experts votes and then they add in the self-eval votes so that if you're good at math at all, you're going to figure out if you got votes or not. Like Sinu was very quick to realize, well, that means we got no votes, right? I hate that. I wish they would just combine them. I wish they can combine them. Just give that total vote, and that way you wouldn't know.
Would they then be attacked for not being transparent enough? That they'd then be told,
it's not like
everyone would be like, well,
it's not like they're transparent anyway.
But at this stage, that's the only drama. That's the only drama in the show. Because the groups are so adorable.
They're
they have nothing bad to
manufacturing.
say about each other.
Yes, I felt like in the situation, more so than in the SF9 one, where they weren't swapping each other's songs. I feel like in this one, Mnet manufactured a fan war between the bees and fantasy, because I've seen a lot of people from the boys fandom saying horrible things like, I hope SF9 disbands and all this kind of crap, which seriously, people, it's
wow.
I'm just like,
it's a show that means nothing at the end of the day. Let's all be honest. It's like my husband says. He's like, so they have no recording contracts on the line for this. They have no monetary issues on the line for this. They have no, their comebacks aren't going to get canceled if they don't win. There is no there are no stakes in here. We can just enjoy it. Right. But to be honest, that someone between those six groups voted for the boys.
Yeah.
They did. That SF9 probably voted for the boys.
Did you see the look on Zuho's face when it was revealed that the boys didn't get any votes? And he was just like, what the crap?
Yeah, that he voted for him. So you're just
So I don't know. It's like, I don't know this for concrete fact, but I just have this gut reaction of like, did that really happen? Or did they do this to manufacture this fan war because they know it'll get people talking on Twitter, it'll get people watching the show? And the thing is, it's like, those two groups are friends. It's like Young-hoon and Hui-young they've worked together on dramas and stuff, and they're friends. So it's sort of like they're manufacturing this animosity that is not there.
And if you can't do it with the groups, then
effect.
they do it with the fans. Exactly. They're transferring that to the fans because there'll be no luck with the groups.
Yeah, you're like, oh, Mnet doing something shady. Say it isn't so.
I hate that because there's already enough fan war stuff in
bullshit.
existence anyway, and it's like it's dumb, but But to fan those flames, just I find it incredibly cruel and unprofessional, and Mnet can suck it. But anyway,
yeah. I guess I think Mnet's been trying to put like they've been trying to alter the perspective. They're trying to like selectively show what they wanted to show to the audience. I guess it is likely that while a group is performing, what the other 5 groups are watching, it's unedited. So they're watching the raw performance, the whole the whole thing in its original form, and then say we all knew that the boys' stage, the lighting was an utter mess for O Sole Mio, and putting that into factor, if you can't really see what the boys had for like the stage, and the whole performance was just like too dark in general, I think it's somehow likely that the rest of the group would rank them rather lower than say like some other groups that didn't suffer from such lighting issues and stuff. So I felt like I mean I believe that they would have gotten like at least a few groups voting for them. Yeah. But I felt like getting like maybe it didn't hit that trigger to get them. Yeah. They didn't hit that trigger to get them into like the top 3 or stuff.
Yeah.
And that would have
all of the other groups wouldn't have known that the fire didn't work because they didn't see all of the backstory that we saw. So they didn't. They had no idea. They had to rank it on what they saw.
Information. Yeah.
Do you know what's happening right now? Collectively, all of us viewers, as well as the groups, we're all being gaslit by Mnet right now. And we all know it. And that's the worst part, is that we acknowledge this is what's happening.
That's the thing. It's like, I saw this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kirstie.
I was going to say, interesting point, because so I'm wondering if the groups are going to start taking advantage a little, because there was a comment by B2B saying that they're sharing performances that they're not able to be shown anywhere else. And we saw this week from B2B, certainly they put some elements in there that probably wouldn't be aired in K-pop in other performances, but there are. So I'm really interested to see if some of the mature groups, or hopefully all of them, but are they going to realize that they've got opportunities here and they're actually going to take advantage of them and going to turn it a little on its head?
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Well, I just feel like, I mean, seriously, those lyrics. So that would not be published anywhere else.
And I think that they're like, as the internet becomes more of a more common way for groups to like put out their work, and I think there's going to be more of this happening. Like, just look at like Chungha's recent songs and things, like, internet based, she can do what she wants, right?
Yeah. Like only one of.
Only one of. Yep, only one of. And are we seeing that now in this?
Yeah. I just feel like Mnet, they're really good at like playing with fans' emotions and getting I saw this happen when Island was on too. It's like they are good at manipulating the emotions, and the fans allow it to happen. So
that's
it's very
the most frustrating part, that it's not like it's not noticeable. And I wish fans were like more aware of how
they're being manipulated.
That's behind a lot of these things, and I wish they wouldn't fall for it.
Right.
I just wish,
because
Mnet, that would be the default. Like, look beyond what you're seeing, see how things are being edited, see how like shows are like the construction behind the shows and the concept and everything, and things that have happened before, and look out for certain clues and red flags, and don't be manipulated by companies and situations and editing. Like, there's so much unnecessary things that happen online, and it just adds to the toxicity in K-pop fan culture. And it's just frustrating because like you see that it's not inevitable. You can avoid all this toxicity, all this manipulation, if you just stand back and see the things that are happening. Yes, it's really frustrating to see the manipulation continue to, thrive.
Yeah, they don't realize that like Mnet is making money off of them being upset. and like being mean to other groups. And it's like, you know, the only person who wins at this is Mnet, who is arguably the villain of this whole story that's emerging. You know what I mean? So,
well, like,
just, you know, be nice to each other, people. Like, it's not that hard. Like, if you don't like a group,
really
just don't listen to them. You don't have to let them live in your head
really
rent
not
free.
that hard to like
it's not hard.
support your favorite without having to attack somebody else. It's
like,
really not that hard.
It's
Just
like, listen,
not that hard.
Your idols, like the idol group, they like each other. So you going off about this group or that group, you're not endearing yourself to anyone but other crazy people. Like
yeah.
I mean, but I'm just looking forward to next week's
criticism is always
Sports Day.
Because Sports Day will be a huge Sports Day will be a huge slap on those like anti-fans or like people who spread hatred, because we all get to see like how we get to see like good interactions only. So I felt like that's the only thing that matters.
It's a good break. I feel like our funniest moments section next week will be huge.
Oh, for sure.
But one other thing about like the scoring and stuff that's going on is, of course, we don't know like what they're judging on, you know, how the scoring system works.
Yeah, there's no metric.
But it's sort of like if you watched all 6 performances and even if you put the Stray Kids performance in 6th place, there is no way that it should have gotten only half the points that ATEEZ did, because it's like they were like half. I'm just like, in what universe were they only half as good as ATEEZ was? It's like, no, and I think like if they're all so close together, you know, as far as quality and just enjoyability.
And if you don't give out any metrics, like this is even for the groups themselves, it's like if the groups don't know what metrics they're aiming for, because this is a scored competition, I say competition loosely here. If you don't know the metrics that if you're writing a test and you don't know how it's scored, what is the point of writing the test? Like you're not going to do well except by fluke. So it's like they don't know what they're being like, how performances are weighted. Like, is it weighted more towards the visuals or towards the choreography or towards they don't know. Like, is it equal? Nobody knows. So,
and I feel like the boys probably came into this competition having sort of gotten the idea of how Road to Kingdom was scored. They did well, and then it feels like everything's been turned upside down and they've been thrown under the bus. So
nothing makes sense anymore.
And they didn't even because like in Road to Kingdom they did at least tell like which group got like the most exact votes from like other groups. That happened in Road to Kingdom, and then in Kingdom they had like this 6 little like chest tattoo, and even that Mnet blurted out. So we're like,
that's to me. It's like we don't even get to know. So it's sort of like.
No. See, this is how I know. This is how I know that they're lying about who voted for which group. Because if there was nothing to hide, they would just show what 3 groups they ranked. You know what I mean?
You only blur something out when it's sensitive content, and that in no way will be like it's not sensitive. Like just give us like what it is as the thing as it is.
I feel like I feel like I would have liked it better that. In that sense, that the way that it's being scored, like for example, between groups, that the way that it's being scored, there would never be a group that doesn't have a vote.
Yeah.
Do you understand that concept? Because in other competition shows I've seen, like for example, I was seeing one from China, and then they had like a group and needed 6 members, right? And there was 10 members. So they said, okay, here's a paper. Give me the 6 members you think would be best for the group, et cetera, et cetera. So every time they voted, there was always somebody with a vote. There was never anybody with 0 votes. And I wish, so I wish it was like that, because honestly, like a group with
they're
0
doing like
votes,
a 3 ranking, right? Like the groups do like their top 3 ranking. Right?
And I wish the way that theoretically there was never somebody with 0 points.
Like theoretically, there shouldn't be anyone with 0 points, because
there shouldn't.
All 6 groups are voting for 3 people, there's going to be like everyone's going to get at least one vote, especially if everyone likes each other. Like, you know, like you're going to think like, okay, like I think this, you know, this group, they did really great, but they weren't as flashy as the other ones, but we'll give them the third ranking because like, you know, they weren't like, you know, something went wrong with the performance. Yeah.
I just wish it was just structured in a way where you, even if you got the least votes, at least you always had a vote. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
the situation of having 0 votes would be impossible.
Yes, because like the time that it happened to SF9 in the previous round, and then it happened to the boys this time, it was heartbreaking, and it was just sort of and it was made more so by the fact that they had to sit there with everybody else, thinking that nobody voted for them.
Except when it shows the other groups also look confused.
Yes, they look
that nobody voted for them.
The type of environment they're creating. By doing that, it's like you see them very uncomfortable, and it's unnecessary. You don't have to create that type of environment. And I feel bad for them because they have like the pressure. They were speaking about, like in the other episode, they were speaking about the pressure they feel because they were in Road to Kingdom, and now people are expecting like a whole bunch from them. And I just feel bad for them because a lot of times people go so much on their expectations that they fail to see the quality in the performance. Like, they're so stuck on their expectation that they don't see what, you know, what's being presented. So I just felt bad. It was just unnecessary. I feel like I wish it was structured differently.
Yeah, I kind of hope all the groups get together at some point and just kind of have this same conversation we're having, like in its shite. You know,
I feel like they probably know. Like, I feel like they.
I mean, of course it.
I mean, when you hear stories about why some of the groups are on the show, you're like, they know.
Yeah, and you know, groups that didn't want to go and ended up going, or people who rejected. I feel like, you know, they know, but it'd be nice for them to get together, even if we don't see it. Them to get together and speak on it and collaborate.
We get to see like the upcoming episodes of them. Like still competing against each other, but like Sports Day. It's about to be fun.
Sports Day is such a, like, it's not a competition. Like, come on, it's
just the preview looks hilarious.
It's about time that we get like a break from all the dramas.
The manufactured drama that Mnet keeps pushing at us. Oh Jesus! Oh, sorry.
What happened?
Some stuff dropped.
One of my lightsticks fell off of my shelf and hit me in the face. I am so sorry.
By EXO.
EXO said we heard that. We heard that.
Awesome.
You're not talking about us. I need attention.
That Frankie, that's going in like behind the scenes.
No, I'll probably just keep it in.
It's funny.
Scared the shit out of me.
Are you okay?
I am fine. The light stick is also fine. So we're all good here.
All good.
That was Mnet coming to get you.
I'm just gonna like take down the other ones just to
take them down just in case.
Can we have a think about what might be upcoming in rounds? Because I was suddenly reminded that, of course, in Road to Kingdom, we eventually got a new song from every group, and I suddenly remembered that, and I'm like, well, we're pretty sure that's going to happen at the end, right? And the idea of a new song from all of these 6 groups, I'm excited. I mean, we've got a few weeks to go, but we've got a whole round before then probably too. So what's the round after the Sports Day? What's that going to be?
I actually saw a rumor on Twitter that they might be covering girl group songs.
Oh, that would be fun.
So I thought probably next week, in addition to talking about the Sports Day, maybe in the interim between now and then, we can kind of come up with like the girl group songs we would like to see them cover.
Ooh. That sounds
Of
cool.
course,
I-
Road
if-
to
if
Kingdom
that
was a very,
happens.
very, very,
if
very
it
good
happens.
Mamamoo, didn't they? Yeah. Yep. Go
Remember
BB.
when Minhyuk did was it Bad Girl?
Oh, that's so
Bad
good.
Girl and
Oh,
Minhyuk,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the two Minhyuks.
They also did
Yeah,
Red Velvet.
and someone else.
B2B has
Yeah.
covered Red Velvet before.
Oh,
And they
yeah,
got dressed.
that
They
was
got the dresses
iconic.
and then the wigs and
Okay.
everything was fabulous.
All right, that'll be fun.
I'm hoping they do like in Queendom, like I said, I mean on episode 3. I hope they do the collaboration where each group sends a representative, and then they pick who they collaborate with, and then they do a song from another artist, but like sing it together or rap or whatever.
That's right.
I
And
would
Road
really
to
like
Kingdom,
that.
they actually were together too.
Yeah.
We're not getting enough rounds, though, are we? We're not going to get enough rounds. Yeah.
Okay, so after next week is episode 6. So then there's only 4 left. So like if they split up rounds again, and then there's like is it 10 episodes plus a live finale, or is the live finale part of that?
Oh, I don't know.
I guess
haven't
it's
scheduled
the
the
live
finale.
is going to stand on itself. The live finale is just going to be like a 2 or 3 hour long. I mean, maybe not 3 hours, but like it's going to be like a longer than usual episode on itself.
But I
And
just
it was all
wondered with
6
4
groups in one.
episodes-
It will
But
be
I just
10 or
wondered-
11.
Last
All
time.
6 groups in one. Yep.
Yeah,
All
because I
6
just
groups in
wondered because there
one,
will be 4 episodes after next week. So if we continue with the trend of 2 episodes per round, that would be one more round, and then there'd be like an episode in
One
addition to
episode?
a live finale, unless the live finale is in addition
Is
to
extra.
The so
Mm.
Yep.
I don't
In
know.
which case we've got 2, but we don't
Yeah.
have 2 full rounds left, do we?
If the live finale is extra, then we would have 2 rounds.
Mhm.
I
Fingers
guess we
crossed.
can just
I don't know.
More rounds.
fingers
I don't
crossed.
know.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I mean, if
It's
we're
so
getting
good.
if we're getting more episodes, then we're getting more dramas as well. And do we really want that as well?
Yeah.
I know with the drama,
Oh,
but
it
I
is
do
what
want
it
the
is.
performances.
I know.
Thank you. I want the performance.
It
I
is
can
what it is.
honestly, I can ignore the drama. I've done very well
Mhm.
curating my
Mhm.
timeline. That is not in my I know because other people are like commenting on it and trying to put some sense into people, and like that. So the drama I can avoid it, but the performances would be just so cool. I just feel like there's so much potential and so much advantage they have they can expose themselves to a broader audience, to other fans from other fandoms and things like that. I just feel I just want to see them perform and see them create music and collaborate and things like that.
Yeah,
I've
this
seen other
show would be
shows
great.
and it's just it has so much potential to be awesome, the collaboration and the music and all. So yeah.
Yeah, it'd been great.
I'm net.
Yeah. Just some
Uh,
things that you could just take out and it'll be perfect.
Yeah. Well, we've been going for a while, so we probably need to wrap up for this time. Next week is Sports Day, and I'm looking forward to that and seeing if 30-year-old Minhyuk can still rack up some medals.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah,
ice
they haven't come
Sorry,
out of the
Captain.
military that long ago, so hopefully they got fit in the military.
Yeah.
which-
Well, I think we know that Minhyuk is fit based on this
Yeah.
week.
He's fit. He does have a back problem though, so I hope he doesn't do too much. I do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it makes
Yeah.
me wonder, will Rowing be there? Because he may not.
Yeah, he needs to rest, I think.
Yeah.
Look, guys, thank you so much, everyone, for this week's debrief. I think it was much needed, and I think this is great therapy for me because you know how mad I get at these shows, and this has been great to be able to just let go of it all with you guys, except for inserting a few Mnet and Flames during the video, which people tend to like to pick up now. Look, everyone, keep an eye out for the Road to Hagdom episodes. We've uploaded one which I haven't edited yet for underrated groups. Next week we're doing albums. Also, send in your mullets. Look,
Send, please.
we've got a
Please.
few mullets.
Please, I beg of you.
And also
Send
keep an
the
eye
mullet.
out for my live streams. I'm doing my unboxings with a couple of members of the Hags dropping in for a bit of commentary as well. Bye.
Bye.